Adding product images with Prestashop is very easy. One thing I would strongly recommend you do before you start adding product images is that you go to the preferences, and there you'll find the option or the link images. By clicking on it, you will actually see a list that looks something like this. Now this actually changes, and it's actually dependent on the theme that you are currently using. Here you'll find some very useful information. First of all, you'll find some sort of a name. So basically these are all different categories of your images. So there's something that's called a car default, small default, medium default, home default, and whatnot. There you'll find the actual values in pixels for the width and the height. You have the option here to include those pictures into the products, into the categories, manufacturer, suppliers, scenes, or stores. You have the options to edit those as well. Now why I'm saying that this is important is because Prestashop is designed to follow some sort of a theme. Each different theme will have their layout a bit set up differently. Now for this particular theme, I have these particular images, and they are to be used, or you can actually go ahead and change those. Now for example, for small default, my width and my height are exactly the same, which is 98 pixels. If I however upload a photo that's different size, it may or may not be automatically resized to actually meet this specific values here. So before you actually go and upload the photos, make sure that those photos are as close as possible to the values that you have here. So for my small default, that would be 98 by 98. I can always go and I can hit on the edit button, and I can change those values right here, and I can change where they're actually present as well. Okay, I hit on the cancel, and also there's an option to add a new image type, and if I do that, I'll be brought to pretty much the same page where I would enter the name of the type of my name, the width, height, and I have exactly the same options there. So basically those are all image types here, the list of all the image types right there. Okay, then I'll move a bit more down, and I'll come to the section called images, and basically here we are talking about the image quality, whether or not we would like to use PNG and what sort of a PNG for small images and everything else. We come to the quality of JPEG and the quality of PNG as well. The maximum size of product pictures, so basically this is in bytes, and this will actually limit the actual size of your photo to this particular size. You can change this, but the default is given as this, and if you try to upload a photo or a picture that's actually bigger in size than this value, it will not upload and it will return an error. Now the product picture width you can change here as well. Alright, then we'll come to the regenerate thumbnails, and in some cases when you're changing the theme of your website, the thumbnails will actually need to be regenerated, and basically you can select all images or just some images in some of these categories. So for example, you might actually change only products, and that will not change any of the other categories. Erase previous images, yes or no. So basically if you go and you select, for example, products here, and you would like to actually regenerate those thumbnails, you would first of all select the format. So we are talking about the products, and for example, I would like all of my products, instead of for maybe being large default, to go into medium default, and basically it's if I had this option, if I have this option here set to yes, it would erase all the images of the products that I had previously. Okay, if I'm done with that, I would hit on regenerate the thumbnails. Okay, so basically this is where you will find all the information regarding your images. Now this is all the basic information about these images. You can always go and download and install some of the modules, which will actually give you a lot more options, you know, with the size and the actual quality and the quantity of the images as well. and you can actually use some of these modules to enhance your photos as well. Okay, so basically this is something that you need to check. Now when it comes to actually uploading the photos, it's quite easy. Now all you have to do is go to the catalog and then find the products, and this is actually what you do when you're adding a new product. I have a number of products here. Now let's for example open this one here. Okay, so all the information about my product is here, and if you move down the list, somewhere in the middle you'll find a tab or a link that says images. If you click on the images, all of the available images will be displayed for that particular product, and you can actually insert new photos by clicking on this add files. Okay, and basically you can enter some different caption here if you wanted to, and once you have actually selected your file, uploaded it, it will appear here on the list, and the option you have there is to make this a cover photo, or you can just select their position. So for example, I have the very first image as position 1 and the second image as position 2, and I have the first image as my cover image. I can drag and drop it and change it around, so my actual cover photo is at position 2 and my other photo is at the position 1. I have the availability to delete this image individually. So once I've done with that, I will either hit on save or save and stay. Looking right at the top, I have the availability to preview, duplicate, product sales, delete this product, and recommended modules and help there as well. So just bear in mind, we're not talking here about these particular images. So when it comes to duplicating, if I hit on duplicate, this would actually duplicate this product, okay? And all of the images and everything will be duplicated as well if you choose those images to be duplicated. But as for loading the images, it's quite straightforward. It's like with any other CMS or any other software or program that you have used to upload any sort of a file or a picture onto the web page. Okay, so just to recap, make sure that you got all the right dimensions of your photos. If you would like, you can actually go and change that, or you can actually go and preview those as well, and make sure that you have, well, not the same, but as close as possible to those values that are preset by the actual theme. Alright, so once you have done with that, you would come to the products, you will enter all the information about that particular product, and you will come to the section that deals with the images, where you would add a files by clicking on add files button here. Once you're done with that, the actual file, the actual photo will appear here, and you have the option to change the position, or actually to make that particular file or that particular photo a cover photo, and you can always delete it. Alright, so once again, adding photos to the Prestashop is quite easy, and those photos will go and describe your product visually. If you would like to add other images which are not the product images, you would probably have to install some sort of a module, once again depending on what type of the image you would like to insert onto your web page and which particular page that is to be inserted on. But when it comes to the actual products, this is the way you would go about adding those photos to your products.